welcome to Black Popcorn, and I'm glad you could join me today. Today we're going to talk about the police, y'all, and I'm talking on a national level. We got a lot of black communities within the United States. We got a lot of communities we share with other minority groups, and then in other areas we just kind of scattered all over the place. But wherever there are heavily concentrated areas of black people, like real heavy areas, like it really used to be back in the day, but even to this day, there are states that still have large black populations. And first off, we're gonna have to do some switching around of some things, and it's racist the way it's set up. Anybody who is walking around with a firearm in your community all day, with the amount of money they're pouring into these police departments, billions of dollars into these police departments, more money going into policing than going into education. So the time has come when they just need to use common sense. The money that is already being spent is already being spent. Ain't nothing you can do about it. It's already being spent. And the problem in this country, and the biggest complaint that we always have, is we can't afford it. Oh, we can't afford it. It's no, it's but we're already affording it. So since we're already affording it, we don't have to talk about the economics. Let's just talk about the solution. And the solution is actually quite simple. Whatever area you live in, whatever city you live in, whatever town or courtship or whatever they call it, in the United States of America, the police should be 100% representative of what lives in that community. If it's a black community, the police department needs to be 100% black. If it's a half black, half Hispanic community, then the police department needs to be half Hispanic, zero whites, if there's zero people in that community. If there's zero whites, zero people in the community. That's just how I need to go. When you go into deep Latino barrios and the areas where it's pretty much nothing but Hispanics, they should have pretty much nothing but Hispanic police officers. That's it. Policing them, walking around with firearms every day. Intricate situations that could end people's lives, their existence, their progress, sending them to prison, putting all kind of things on them, falsifying evidence. I would take my chances being policed by black police officers. And I don't only mean hiring black officers, I mean training them, running the department. And I do not want to see one penny of this funding dropped, cut, altered. Keep paying the billions into the police departments that you've been paying. But this time they're going to be run different. And if we can get our crime rates down to a place where we recognize that, hey, this is way too much money. What have you guys been pouring all this money into these police departments for? It's never, no one's ever given any back. And to give it back would be foolish, because once they give it to us, we should be able to take the extra, the excess, or any proceeds and put it into education, put it into training, put it back into the community to help the kids, help people. Don't just arrest them, also give them an opportunity. Do police based activities that help the community. And people be all comfortable when y'all come around chilling. You be seeing people leaning on police cars like, man, back in the old days, you get so comfortable with the police because they're pulling you over all the time. And they kind of realize who you are and you realize who they are. But they weren't there to help you. They tolerated you, and they were still there with an agenda to try to get deeper and deeper into your neighborhood and figure out who was who and what was what. But the reality is, policing should benefit a community, not just come out and dragging people off, and not coming out and killing people. And if you had a mentally ill family member, or a family member who was on drugs, and the police did need to be called to intervene, if that did happen and you didn't even have nothing to do with it, the neighbors might have called. But it happened and the police is on their way. All of a sudden, you're in a situation, you don't know what might happen. You might die. We could solidify our secureness and our feelings and our safeness in this country by just advocating to have our own people police us. And I agree that for every race. They lay off a huge number of white police officers. They'd have to find something else to do other than that. The judges, the courts, all of that. Communities need to be policed by that community, the racial makeup of it, and it'll work out fine. Well, white people have been doing it for uh, since the beginning of the country, and it's worked out fine for them. They should let everyone else try that. They need to get their hands out of other people's stuff. Move on. Go. There's nothing to see here. We got this. But don't stop that money, and we'll keep paying them taxes. You guys want to stop the money, then we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna get to the taxes later, but for right now, we'll keep paying them taxes. Just appropriate that money to us and let us clean up our own communities and let us send these people to prison who deserve to be sent to prison in our communities, and let us not lock up our strong men who needed to be educated and retrained and taught some things that help them lead a family and lead our communities and lead better lives. So when the money is spent the right way, you get a different result. When the money is spent just to look for a particular thing, you're going to find a whole bunch of that because that's your incentive. So we want to take that incentive out. We want the incentive to be good, a positive outcome. And the positive outcome is educated black men, relationships with black women, raising black kids in black communities and in black households. And that's it, you guys. It sounds simple. So let's start hitting them up and see if they feel like we do. And I don't know why they wouldn't. If it's our betterment that they're looking out for. That's what we're looking out for. We just want to do better, and everyone says they do. They talk about how bad we were, how far down we've come from. Well, we here now, wherever we are. But if you want to put us where we need to be, let's start off with letting us police ourselves, letting a person know they can call for help and not be the end of their life. That's it. And that's all. See you on the next popcorn.